Hello world and welcome back to Real Talk with ReZsaun, where nothing's off limits. I am your host, ReZsaun Lewis. Now here on Real Talk, everything is debatable. So on any given week, we could be discussing anything from music to sports to politics. You name it, we'll discuss it. Now let's get it cracking. The music that you're hearing is by my good homeboy, Digger Jones, aka Daniel Laurie, and it's called Jazz Lounge. It's a track that I really love because it really gives the show the type of vibe and type of setting that I really wanted to have. And he's actually going to be a guest on my show on May 2nd, so make sure you tune in for that. Now, for those who are new to the show, I break my show down into sections. The first part of the show is current events and topics. The second segment is my relationship/family segment, followed by the audience question and answer segment. Now, if you would like to call in and be a part of the show during that segment of the show, please write down this number, 843-900-6847. Once again, that's 843-900-6847. And the lines will be open around 7:30. Normally, I try to open them up around 7:30 for sure. Looks like can't see. All right. Yeah, 7:30. All right, so I want to get into today's topics. Hopefully, you guys can hear me okay. First thing I wanted to start off with, I'm going to start off with a softball. And that softball is Mr. Kanye West. Kanye West is in the news once again for a comment that he made. And actually, it wasn't even a full comment. It was just a tweet expressing his support for a young lady by the name of Candice Owens. Now, I don't know if y'all know who Candice Owens is because, honestly, I didn't know who Candice Owens was until Kanye decided to assert his appreciation for her takes on things. And I wanted to pull up this article so you guys can look at it, and we can talk about what the issues are here exactly. So the article says, Twitter fries Kanye West for supporting conservative pundit Candice Owens. So apparently this Candice Owens lady is somebody who is not a big fan of the black community and vice versa. So it says, chatter online suggests that Owens has expressed homophobic and anti-black sentiments despite being black herself, which would cast her into the lot of, I guess, to Uncle Tom. So I'm going to read the actual article. And it says, Kanye West's return to Twitter was celebrated by fans who missed his presence online. But now some of those same supporters are probably hoping he'll go away. After tweeting on Saturday a supportive message for conservative pundit Candice Owens. Black Twitter's been raging to the point Owens' name began trending. He said, I love the way Candice Owens thinks, tweeted Kanye West early Saturday morning on April 21st. I see you, Brian. And this is getting a really big response from the right-wing Make America Great Again crew, who saw this as an epic cosign of their ideals. But that was soon met with backlash, as some in the black Twitter space have highlighted that Owens has used her platform to express anti-black and homophobic views. Owens herself responded to Yeezy's tweet, stating that she wants to wake up the black community. Wow. So apparently this young lady is also a big fan of Kanye West, which I used to be as well. This seems like less and less every day I am. It says, please take a meeting with me. She says, I'm freaking out, Kanye West, please take a meeting with me. I tell every single person that everything I have been inspired to do was written in your music. I am my own biggest fan. Because you made it okay, I need you to I need you to help wake up the black community. So apparently the black community is asleep, and Candice Owens considers herself as the conduit to wake the black community up. Just looking at the things without even actually looking into some of the things that she's said, the question that I have is, what makes Candice Owens so bad? So let's see. Candice Owens. And I'm literally doing this on the air for this very simple reason, because I believe that if you don't know about something, you should definitely look it up before really stating an opinion. Now, according to that article, she's had some issues with the black community. So let's see what kind of things she said so far. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to suspend I'm going to suspend judgment on this situation until I get to read more about this Candace Owens lady. But I can tell you, if you are on Twitter and you've looked up the name Kanye West today, and you see that the response to this Candace Owens lady, it seems to be like there's not a lot of good things going on around her that I would probably agree to. But I want to give her the chance. I'm going to give Kanye West the benefit of the doubt before saying anything about it. But just for yourself, take the time, look into the story, and see what you think for yourself. Again, ReZsaun Lewis does not want to, I never want to position myself as the voice of any particular community. I'm the voice of ReZsaun Lewis. You know, I'm not the voice of the Black community. I'm not the voice of anybody. So I'm not going to say that this lady's good or she's bad, but it seems like there's a lot of troublesome tones around what she's saying. What up, Tony? Hey, Ma. Hey, Grandma. And so just with that in mind, I'm not gonna delve too far into it. I probably will next week when I have more time to look at what she actually said and the things that she's known for saying. But it seems I've heard some things that are troublesome, and I'll leave it there for right now. But we will revisit this next week on Real Talk with ReZsaun. Moving on, I want to talk about this J. Cole album. I want to talk about this J. Cole album because, and I want to go ahead and share this out that I'm going to talk about the J. Cole album so that we can get some traction on it. K.o.D. So the new J. Cole album is called K.o.D. Now that K.o.D. has different meanings according to the everything that I've watched about it and everything that I've read about it. You know, I saw Kids on Drugs, King of Destruction, all these different things. And so when I first started listening to the album, I was listening to it and I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this production wise. I don't like the way it sounded. It sounded like he was doing drug rap. And honestly, I was in the middle of it and I was about to turn it off. And my homeboy Digger Jones, the same guy who did the track for Jazz Lounge, he called me. He said, "Hey, what do you think about the new J. Cole?" As he's known to do several times throughout the week. He calls me and he'll say, "Hey, ReZsaun, what do you think about this project? Hey, ReZsaun, what do you think about this?" And I was like, I don't like it. I was probably, I think, on song 6. And I was like, I really don't like it. I don't like the direction that he's taking. It seems like he's trying to really get with this young boy stuff with doing, you know, pretty much what I'd call little kids rap, where he's talking about like the drugs and fame and all that stuff and glorifying the things that I don't like about rap music. And what Digger told me was, keep listening. You'll hear the hook. You'll hear what he's doing. You'll be able to pick it up. So I, you know, on his advice, as I normally do, I kept listening, and then I came up on some other songs, and those songs were so dope. And it sort of brought it all together, because when you go back and listen to it again, you hear that in the first verses, he's sort of satirizing what the younger boys, your younger artists, I almost say boys, I'm sorry, that's a derogatory term, the younger artists are doing right now. He's satirizing the drug rap. He's satirizing the drug culture and the things that is being represented by the younger community. What's up, E? What's up, Sam? And in doing that, in the second verses, a lot of the songs, he's talking about the downfalls of that way of life, or of that way of living. So from that angle, once you get to the latter part of the album, it picks up lyrically, it picks up production-wise, it picks up because there's a message there. There's a message there that I definitely could stand by. And then you get to songs like Once an Addict, which is about a young man whose mother is addicted to drugs. And he's talking about the things that he's dealing with as somebody who's trying to get away from a situation where his family is really bringing him down. And that was really, really profound in a lot of ways, because there are a lot of people in the community who are dealing with these things, who want to come out of the communities that they're raised up in, who may be children of parents who are addicted to drugs or alcohol, or stuck in a life that is otherwise not good for that young man or woman. And when they go away, and they think, you know, when I leave, that will be the end of it, and my life will get better. But that thing keeps calling them back. This young man talks about his mom calling him high and drunk on the phone, and him feeling like, maybe I need to go back and help her. Maybe there's more I can do. When I'm hearing these things in the midst of that song, it's like, wow, Cole is still in there. Cole's still doing Cole's thing. So when I went back and listened to it again, it gave me a whole different feeling, a whole different, more profound nature of the album, as opposed to at face value him just talking about the drug culture and the gun culture and the spoils of being famous, which is something I'm not a big fan of at all. I have to be honest with you. But again, on second listen to that album, I really, really, really like it. Do I like it as much as 2014 Forest Hills Drive? Not yet, but I listened to 2014 Forest Hills Drive for a really long time. And this just came out 2 days ago. So for me, I like it. I also like 1985. So 1985 is a dope song, and I'm going to tell you why it's so dope. 1985 is dope because of the basis of the song. The basis of the song is a rapper, one of the younger generation of rappers, came out and dissed J. Cole. Now, mind you, J. Cole's not 30 yet. So when I say the younger generation of rappers, that's sort of mind-blowing in of itself. But one of these guys came out with a song called F. J. Cole. And when he did this, J. Cole heard it, apparently, and J. Cole felt like he needed to make a response. What J. Cole pretty much did with this song, yeah, I wonder how the video will be. I don't know. When J. Cole made this song, he made it in a way where it was like, Halo man, come here, I'm going to give you game. And I'm not going to talk down to you, and I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm just going to tell you that everything you're doing is leading you down a path of destruction. There's nothing doper than that to me, as somebody who, one, considers myself a mentor, but two, somebody who has had these conversations with young men and literally been like, hey, dude, like, I get where you're coming from. I've been where you're standing. I've wanted to do the fly stuff, and I've wanted to have the dope cars, and I've wanted to get with all the women, and I wanted to do all these things. But I'm telling you that everything you're doing is going to be for naught in the end if you don't figure out a different way to focus your energy, to focus your attention. So for me, it was the dopest diss, one of the dopest disses I ever heard, because it was really condescending the entire way through. And if you've ever been in an argument with me, you know that I can get quite verbose with my words. Sometimes I can become very cutting with my words. And for me, J. Cole was literally doing that over a rap beat, which was the dopest thing for me that I probably ever heard in rap diss history. So shout out to J. Cole for that, man. That was pretty dope for me to listen to. Again, if you guys have comments, questions, anything that you want to add to it, please do. I see E said, I wonder how the video will be. And I'm assuming that he's talking about the Once an Addict song. I am definitely interested in seeing if he does a video for that song. And if he does the video, how does he portray it? How does he portray it? Because in the song, it doesn't actually, and this is the thing about J. Cole, is J. Cole is, a college-educated young man. He's very, very intelligent. He's not your average rapper at all. This guy is very intelligent. He's college-educated. He's pretty wise for a person of his years. And when he does things, he doesn't come from it from the same angle as other people. My brother, cousin, all around great homeboy, Delano, Delano, aka Mr. Tap, we were talking back and forth, and he was saying that, he gets the message, but it was hard to ingest with the production that went along with it. I would actually disagree in that I think the production actually makes you listen even more, because it's like, why is he coming in from this angle? It really made me think about it, even though I was on the verge of turning it off within the first 8 songs, because I was like, I can't do this with Cole. But overall, I really like the album, and I hope that that it gets the respect and the buzz that it deserves as such a great album. It's a really, really, really good album, and I hope that true fans of rap music listen to it and enjoy it for what it is, because we need to support the artists that are making good music. We need to. We talk about the terrible music that's out here and the kids making bad music, but if we're not going to support the good music, then all we're going to get is trash music. And I'm not a fan of trash music at all. So changing pace, I wanted to talk about something else that has been going on, and it's the Tennessee Waffle House shooting, right? The Tennessee Waffle House shooting. So apparently in Nashville, Tennessee, last night, I believe, a young man, a 29-year-old Travis Rinkin of Nashville, Tennessee, walked into a Waffle House and killed 4 people. Killed 4 people. Now, this young man, for some reason, has decided to go in and do this thing. Another shooting. Another senseless shooting. So apparently, this gentleman also only had on a coat and was nude underneath it. So he didn't have any clothes on. That's different. What's up, Reagan? And that's not cool. So there's a multiple ways we can come from this, right? We can come at this from the angle of this young man went in and killed people, and that's wrong, because it is. I haven't watched the coverage for it yet, but I'm almost sure of the wording that will be used for this young man. Just looking at looking at his picture. He seems to be, I don't know. I just know I can just imagine the wording that's used. He's probably a troubled young man. Probably has some mental stability issues. I think with the wording, y'all get where I'm going with this. I don't think it really takes a rocket scientist to figure out where we're going. This young man walked into a Waffle House and killed 4 people. Thankfully, another gentleman who was actually in the Waffle House was able to disarm him of his assault rifle. Once again, here we are with the assault rifles again. We've had this discussion several times. I'm not gonna venture into that again. But he killed 4 people, and now he's on the loose. And I pray to God that they find the people. But I want to come at it from this angle, without going where I could go. I want to say this: I pray that the families of the people who were killed get the justice that they deserve. I pray that this young man is caught. I pray that this young man is tried. And I pray that this man receives the justice that he deserves for ending 4 innocent lives, people who are just sitting trying to eat dinner. And kudos to the gentleman who acted as a hero and stepped up, because there's not a whole lot of us that would have stepped up and said and put our lives on the line by trying to fight back. But he did. So what's that gentleman's name? It's let me go up. The gentleman who saved him. Where's it at? Sorry. And I put the article in there. So if you haven't seen the article, please check it out. So he killed 4 people. He killed Torian Sanderlin, Joe Perez, Aquila Da Silva, and a 4th who has yet to be identified. 2 of them were standing outside of the restaurant. 2 were standing outside of the restaurant, and 2 were inside of the restaurant. Another 2 people were injured. And that's his name. James Shaw Jr. was the person who stepped in and stopped the gunman. Shout out to him. Shout out to, James Shaw Jr. If that dude comes up with I don't know what kind of thing he could come up with, but if there's anything that gentleman needs, medically, whatever, we need to make sure that young man doesn't have to pay for anything as it pertains to getting better. I see a comment, and I want to make sure I respond to the comment. So give me 1 second as I scroll over to it. The comment is from Elvin Space, and if you have comments, please leave your comments. I'd love to engage what you have to say. It says, "I'm not a racist. A lot of people." First of all, don't start with "I'm not a racist." That's a terrible way to start a comment. Anyway, I'm not a racist. A lot of people take my words offensive. However, there it is. However, white kids have mental issues. That's what they're calling him. Had he been a black, he's a thug. Black kids don't have that sensitive heart. America don't get that sensitive heart that America has for whites. Want to hear something funny? White killed people. Black man that stopped him. So that's one way to look at it, right? Is that we know based on the coverage that certain wording is used when it pertains to people of different backgrounds. And I'm really trying not to go there, but I could. But the truth is that we've covered it enough in here where I don't need to keep sounding that drum. But we have to get used to, not used to, I'm sorry, let me stop. We don't have to get used to. We have to get past the point where that's the language that we use. We have to call people out when they're using that kind of language, which we call coded language, to differentiate between two different types. When you hear thug, when you hear murderer, when you hear all these things, the person normally looks a certain way. When you hear troubled, when you hear was a nice kid, isolated from friends, it's a different demographic. Hey, Sherelle, what's going on? We can't do that. We can't do that. Again, boom, right there, Reagan. That's it. He's a murderer. He's a murderer. He's not a terrorist, because unless you actually have to look into the meaning of the word terrorist. Terrorist means that he had an established social, that there was of manifesto, i.e. a Dylan Roof, or somebody of that nature. Up until this point, we don't know that. We know that the FBI was watching him. We do know that the FBI had eyes on him. We don't know why yet, but as we learn more, I hope that we open our eyes to the fact that the coded language needs to stop. The coded language needs to stop. Brian, you're absolutely right. The media does paint with a broad brush, a brush of bias, but I also want to make sure that we understand our responsibility in this thing. Our responsibility is to call people out when we see these things so that they do not continue to happen. So that people are not comfortable using that kind of language when it pertains to people of different races and different backgrounds. If we see 4 people getting killed on one side and their person is a thug, that person is all these negative things, then I don't want to hear on the other side how they were a good kid and people like them and he had lots of friends or whatever it is. I don't want to hear that he was mentally ill. Unless you're going to do it for both sides. If he's going to be mentally ill, he needs to be mentally ill on both sides. If he's going to be a troubled soul, he's going to be a troubled soul on both sides. Whatever he's going to be, I want him to be on both sides, no matter what his race was, what his background was. I don't care. I just want it to be equal on both sides as it pertains to that stuff. That's really important to understand. And that's where my heart is, especially as it pertains to children. All right. And I'm going to leave that there. But once again, assault rifles. Another person who has an assault rifle, which they probably bought from your local Walmart. And boom. Transition. Transition. This is going to be a hard transition, but I'm going to make it anyway. I want to talk about a couple more things. But I want to talk about this Beychella thing, right? Beychella. Because Beychella, if you don't know, Beyonce is in her second week of doing Coachella, one of the biggest music festivals in the world. And Beyonce is the first African-American woman to be the headliner at Coachella. And now they're calling it Beychella because she's destroyed it in a truly magnificent way. She's taking it to another level, and it's amazing. And it's actually led to some discussions that I never thought I would hear, honestly. And Elvin, I'm glad you're in here. I hope you stick around because we did something we were talking about earlier. And I was listening to the Breakfast Club, Charlamagne the God, and Angela Yee, and all of them, and they were talking about the subject: is Beyonce the greatest live performer of all time? Now, I wanna share this out because I want to have this discussion in a real and meaningful way. I want to start it off like Monique. I love us for real, my people, all of my people, and that includes you, Reagan. I love you. I grew up a Michael Jackson stan. I won't even say fan. I'll say stan. I remember watching every single Michael Jackson performance over and over and over and over, and wanting to learn everything that he did. Sing the way he sang, write the way he wrote, produce the way he produced, dance the way he danced. I've never seen Michael Jackson live, largely because Michael Jackson did not tour very often. He was very isolated, and when he did perform, it was in very limited time. It was very limited. Only those who've never seen. All right. So, with that being said, I've seen Beyonce live twice, and I've watched probably every live Beyonce performance there is to see. It's really hard to not argue that Beyonce is a better live performer than Michael Jackson. It's really hard. If you watch her showmanship from beginning to end, it is really difficult for me to make an argument that Beyonce is not a better, if not right on par with the greatest I've ever known in my life, Michael Jackson. Now, you have to look at a few things in order to even say this, though. You have to look at the fact that, one, Beyonce performs live a whole lot more than Michael Jackson does, right? Beyonce, like, drops an album, and then she tours forever. 2, Beyonce's dad was inspired by Joe Jackson. So Beyonce grew up with the Joe Jackson work ethic. She grew up with the Joe Jackson work ethic. So that stuff that Michael Jackson went through, Beyonce also went through. So it only makes sense that she would have that same work ethic. Anybody who's ever worked with Beyonce or worked with Michael Jackson, both, will tell you how hard both of them prepare, how hard both of them work, how much both of them put into their live performances. You're funny. She needs to perform some Journey. Hysterical. The girl is good, man. Like, she's like not just good. She's great. She's great. Not only is she great, she sings live every single time. Every single time. And she dances hard. I remember watching the VMAs the year that they gave Beyonce that award, and she did Love on Top. And Beyonce was pregnant, y'all. She was pregnant, and she was dancing so hard and singing like everything. Like, it was amazing. I think that performance was like 10, 12 minutes. It was like 10 or 12 minutes, and she killed it beginning to end. And then you sit and you watch the Coachella performance. You watch that Coachella performance. There were like 100 people on that stage. Nobody missed a beat. Nobody was off. Nothing. Everybody was on point. That's largely due to Beyonce's influence. That's what it is, guys. Beyonce, if she's not, I'll say this, if she's not better than Mike, she's right here on Mike. If she's not better than Mike, she's right here on Mike, which is not disrespect. Also understand this, that things change over time, right? When my grandfather was growing up, I'm sure, if you were to say that anybody was better than Jackie Wilson, you probably would have got slapped in the face, right? And then it was James Brown. If you were to say anybody was better than James Brown, you probably get slapped in the face. Then there was Michael Jackson. If you said anybody was better than Michael Jackson, you probably get slapped in the face. I'm here to tell you that the torch has been passed. The torch has been passed. And when you are talking live performers, I am telling you right here today, the Mount Rushmore, let's just say the Mount Rushmore, because they don't have to be the best. The Mount Rushmore of live performers, Jackie Wilson, James Brown, Michael Jackson, Beyonce knows. I said it. I said it here on Real Talk with ReZsaun at 7:35 p.m. And I mean that. And I mean that. Let me see what the comments are, because I know y'all about to kill me in these comments. Yeah, I said it. That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, I said it. The girl's nice, man. Girl's nice, man. Like, the girl's nice. David said it's just because my MJ is gone. Possibly, right? Possibly. It's quite possible. It's very possible that the reason that people feel this way about Beyonce is because Michael Jackson is no longer here, which is absolutely true. That could play into it. Also understand that just like LeBron James had Michael Jordan to Beyonce had Michael Jordan to stand, whose shoulders to stand on. Like, that's also a key part of it. Let me look at this. All right, so I'm gonna come to your comment. Beyonce Knowles also had Michael Jordan, just like James Brown had Jackie Wilson's shoulders to stand on. Michael Jackson had James Brown and Jackie Wilson's shoulders to stand on. Beyonce, when she puts together a performance, it's Mike-like. Like, it really is. If you're talking everything surrounding it. And again, see now, so you're talking about Michael Jackson has songs that he wrote in the 80s. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I'm not talking about songs. I'm not even talking about musicianship. I'm talking purely live performances. I'm talking about a concert. I'm talking about you spend your money and you go to get your money's worth. Beyonce does that better than anybody else in the history of music. Not songs that she sings. Not songs that she sings. Not the instruments that she plays. Because if we're talking best musicians of all time, that's going to be Prince. Prince was a better musician than Michael Jackson, right? Is anybody going to disagree with me there? I'm not saying that Beyonce is the best musician of all time. I'm not even saying Beyonce is the best singer of all time. I'm saying Beyonce is the best live performer of all time. And I will stand on that. And if she isn't the best live performer of all time, she is one of the best performers of all time. Top 4. In that list, again, Jackie Wilson. If you haven't seen a Jackie Wilson video, you need to see a Jackie Wilson video. Jackie Wilson was amazing. James Brown, amazing. Michael Jackson, amazing. Beyonce. Beyonce is the evolution, the next stage in evolution of Jackie Wilson, James Brown, Michael Jackson, Beyonce knows. So again, I'm not talking about musicianship. I'm not talking about songwriting. I'm not even talking about the best singer. I'm talking best live performer. Beyonce Knowles is the best live performer of all time. Of all time. Sounds like a debate for the next show. I'm debating it now. I mean, like, if you disagree, you can come in and we can talk about it. But what you're going to tell me is this. Oh, well, remember when Mike stood on the stage and people started fainting? Yeah. They were fainting because Michael Jackson was the greatest. Like, he was so great. I can also tell you that I've been to Beyonce Knowles concerts and seen people pass out. I've seen Beyonce twice live. My wife has seen Beyonce 4 times live. I've seen it. I've seen it. Beginning to end. Beginning to end. Beyonce's concerts rock. Like, if you have not seen Beyonce, that's another thing. If you're not seeing Beyonce live, you need to go see Beyonce live. When she's gone, she's going to be one of the ones that if you didn't see her, you're going to be like, I should have saw her. Much in the way that I still want to see Stevie Wonder live. That's another issue for another day. Yeah. Beyonce, man, Beyonce's killer, man. The girl is dope. Like, she's so dope. I'm a major fan, and I have been for quite some time. And she's truly an amazing act, and she's somebody who, when it's all said and done, will be one of, if not the greatest, one of the greatest to ever do it. To ever do it. Prom 2018. I'll touch on that. So Prom 2018 seemed to be pretty dope. Shout out to everybody who's sending their kids out looking, decent. Yeah. So I said that. Decent. Because I have seen some pictures that have been really troublesome. And I don't know, maybe this was going on when I was in school too, but it seems like parents are really getting loose with what they're allowing their children to wear to prom. Like, that's kind of weird to me, because I have 4 daughters, and I swear, if one of my daughters was to go out of the house with a boy telling me that they're wearing some of the things that I've seen these young ladies wearing out in these streets, we just be missing prom. She would just be missing prom. Like, she just wouldn't be going. Like, I wouldn't care how much money I spent on a limo. I wouldn't care how much money I've invested on the dress. I wouldn't care. You just staying home. Either that or you going in jeans. You better get something out your closet, because what we're not going to do is go out here embarrassing me. I'm sorry. And definitely, women, you definitely have the right to dress how you want to dress and do what you want to do once you're an adult. But my daughters still live in my house, and I still pay all the bills. So they're gonna do what I say. Now, once they're grown women and they're paying their own bills and doing their own thing, by all means, hey, go for it. You can wear whatever you want. If you want to go outside wearing a curtain, you go outside wearing a curtain. If you want to wear a bathing suit to the grocery store, you wear a bathing suit to the grocery store. I don't care. But as long as you live in my house, chances are I'm financing this whole prom thing that you got going on. Nah, yo, you was missing prom. You're not leaving my house in a bathing suit to go to prom with a boy. No. So shout out to the parents again who had, and I saw lots of parents who did a great job. So I definitely don't want to just key in on the parents, on the kids who did not look decent, because there were a lot of them who did not look decent. There were a lot of young ladies who looked perfectly elegant. I'd say vast majority of the children, of the women, of the young ladies looked definitely elegant. The young men, these young fellas, dude, man, y'all stepping y'all game up in these suits, man. Like I'm quite impressed with a lot of these suits you guys are wearing. My suit game was sort of whack back then. So like I remember getting like a FUBU. I had a silver FUBU suit. I thought I was the flyest thing in America in that FUBU suit, though. But you can pay me to wear that suit now. But but yeah, shout out to the people who came out, looking nice, man. Prom is you get prom one time in your life, and you're gonna have to look back at those pictures, and you want to look back at those pictures and think to yourself, I did not represent myself or my family well in that situation. So shout out to the parents who did that. Prom was definitely dope. I also wanted to make sure I spend this time saying a special rest in peace to the family, to Frankie the Big Bopper and his family. If you're not from the Charleston area, you don't know who Frankie the Big Bopper is probably, but that guy is a legend. He was a legend. And I remember cleaning up with my grandma, with my mom and stuff, and listening to him when I was younger. And that guy's a Chucktown legend. So with him being gone, that's a major hit for the local area, because so many of us grew up listening to him. So shout out to his family, and shout out to all of them. And rest in peace to Frankie the Big Bopper. You're definitely missed. And I pray for your family, praying for your family, praying for y'all's. Just sending my condolences, and hopefully you guys are we're able to say goodbye and all of that. I don't know all the full details around it, but I do hope that you were able to say goodbye before he passed away. Which leads me to my parting shot. And right now, I'm like the only person on the video, but I don't care, because it's my show. Anyway, my parting shot. So this week was the 6th anniversary of my grandfather's death. And I started thinking about it because of the Frankie the Big Bopper thing. But 6 years ago, on the 19th, my grandfather passed away. And I found out on Facebook. I was literally, I woke up, like I normally do, pick up my phone and scrolling through my messages or whatever. And I saw a message that said, R.I.P. Uncle Joe. And when I saw it, it was from one of my cousins. So I was like, well, her Uncle Joe, she has an Uncle Joe. My granddad's name is Joe, and it was her uncle. So I was like, I hope that's not it. So I messaged her, and I said, hey, what do you mean? Uncle Joe who? And she called me, and she told me that my grandfather had passed. And that was the saddest day of my life. I've never had before or after a day that made me that sad. And I've been through a lot in my life. I've never been that sad. I've never been that hurt. My grandfather, a lot of the things that I'm able to do today is largely a result of the things that my grandfather instilled in me. My grandfather was my first mentor, and he died. And when he died, I lost a part of myself. I lost a part of myself because of what he meant to me. And that was hard. That was really hard. That was really hard. So I said all that to say that I hope that you guys, as much as we love this social media thing, I hope you are taking advantage of the time that you have with the people that you love. Because you never know when you're going to click on that Facebook thing and then see that they're no longer with us. Granddad, pretty sure you're not watching this. But if you can, I hope you know that I miss you, and you're the greatest man to this day that I've ever known in my life. And every time I accomplish anything, I think about you. So, with that being said, on that happy note, I'm going to end the show. So, let me cue up my music. So thanks again for watching this week, guys. Remember that the show is now split into 2 parts. On Wednesdays, I do my local celebrity spotlight, and on Sundays at 7 is my normal live show. On Tuesdays, so this Wednesday, I'm actually going to have a local celebrity spotlight, and then on Thursday, I'm going to have another local celebrity spotlight. So on Wednesday at 7, I'm going to have public speaker and entrepreneur K.o.D, who's going to come on and talk about what she's doing in the community. And then on Thursday, I'm going to have a Real Talk special, which is going to feature my cousin, my homeboy, local gospel artist, Alfonso A.C. Riley, who will be coming on to premiere his new music video for his song, which I featured in Here I Am. So please make sure you tune into that. You won't want to miss it, so make sure, don't be left out because you didn't tune in. In the meantime, please follow me on social media to stay up with what's going on with Real Talk. On Twitter, I am at Real Talk ReZsaun. On Facebook, I'm at Real Talk with ReZsaun. On YouTube, I am at Real Talk with ReZsaun. On Periscope, I'm Real Talk ReZsaun. On Instagram, I am at Real Talk ReZsaun. Feel free to leave comments, questions, or whatever else you'd like to say in the comment section or in the message section. I love reading your messages and getting your feedback, even if it's negative. If you watch the show and you like it, hey ReZsaun, I watched it, I loved it, this is what I like. If you didn't like it, hey ReZsaun, I watched the show, it was terrible. Here's some things you can work on. Give it to me because I need it. I need it, okay? I'm currently accepting invitations for speaking engagements and event hosting opportunities. If you would like for me to speak at or host your event, you can request me through my Facebook page or email me at realtalkwithrezsaun@gmail.com. As far as upcoming speaking dates, I'm going to be tomorrow night. I'll be at Kingdom Academy or Academy Kingdom in North Charleston by Trident Technical College. And then on May 4th, I will be at St. George Middle School. And then on May 5th, I will be at New Jerusalem in North Charleston doing an anti-bullying workshop. If you would like for me to come out and inspire you in your group, please reach out at realtalkwithrezsaun@gmail.com. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I really, really, really love doing this with you guys and talking with you guys and receiving your feedback. But in closing, always remember that if a man doesn't stand for something, he will fall for anything. Now that is Real Talk. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.